Okay, here's my hair. It's been a couple days since I shot that last video clip where we compared the skid plates of the different skid plates that were available for the Sur Ron Lightbee. So today we're gonna go actually compare the stock skid plate with the new Luna Cycle one. If I had the other ones, I would show it to you guys, but I don't have that kind of skrill to spend on all those skid plates and not use them, you know. So, but I wanted to talk about the design of the frame on the Sur Ron Lightbee and probably compare it to my KLX 140 here. So, so the like a lot of high-end motorcycles nowadays, they use the motor, the engine or motor, as a stress member. It basically, so that's what they're doing with the Lightbee here. So you got the motor is bolted onto here, and like somewhere up here is where, so somewhere around here is where it's all bolted on. So it does kind of use the motor as a stress member. A lot of the other motorcycles, they use what's called a double cradle frame, similar to what's on my Kawasaki KLX 140 here. So here, yeah, the motor is not part of a stress member. It kind of just sits in this frame, and the disadvantage with that is it makes the bike heavier. You got there's more metal trying to hold the motor. But yeah, so you can see the frame comes down here and it extends out underneath and around the motor, and the motor is like in the middle of everything. Jeez, it's so much bigger than an electric motor too. But yeah, this is what you'd call a double cradle frame. It's more like a triangle actually. So, and this design I think is better for a dirt bike because you got something to protect your engine. The frame is actually in front of the engine. We can compare the Lightbee skid plate to the KLX skid plate also. So I mean, hey, it's a Ricochet off-road skid plate. They made a skid plate for this bike, for the KLX. This is not stock, by the way. The stock skid plate is just this little piece of plastic that sits underneath the engine. But still, it's underneath the engine. Whereas on the Lightbee, there's nothing underneath the engine. Basically, your final line of defense before your engine hits something is this skid plate. So once your skid plate buckles or whatever, that's it. It's, you know, once you get past the skid plate, that's it. It's gonna hit the motor. So here at least you got skid plate, you got frame, and then motor. So it's kind of like, you know, the frame is like sandwiched in between everything. The frame adds support for your skid plate, whereas on the Lightbee design, it's just like, yeah, your motor is just, it's out there, it's exposed. The only thing protecting it is the skid plate, and so you would need a really beefy skid plate, and yeah, I don't know, the type of and the skid plate is really, it's dependent on the type of riding that you do. I do very rough riding, like rocky sections and stuff, and I like to jump my bike over stuff, so that's why the skid plate is in such bad shape. So anyway, let's go take it out, and then we'll go compare all the skid plates. We can compare the stock one, the Luna one, and this one here. And I have another motorcycle with a skid plate too. We can check that out too. I tell you now, Hades Omega has ridden through some very, very rough terrain, and like if you plan to ride through really rough terrain, you should get the best skid plate you could, because it's not cool if you get a hole in your engine and you're out in the middle of nowhere. So, but I guess I don't really know what damage that you can cause to this motor if you hit the case. You break the heat sinks on it, and we'll actually see what's behind the skid plate too. As you can see, it's not the way it used to be when it was stock. It's been bashed in quite a bit. So, and that was after just one ride. So, all right, so let's get on. Okay, so removing the skid plate is quite easy. I think there's only like 4 bolts. So I'm just gonna go do like I'm just gonna quickly undo it. Speed up the video a little bit. So I think it's this one, and then the same ones on the other side. So And I'm going to go ahead and just do the one on the other side. Okay, alright, that's it. So, oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering what Allen wrench I use, it's a 5mm. You found 5mm Allen wrench. And then, should just come right off, right? Yep. Kerplamo. There it is. It's got still some rocks underneath it and stuff. So there it is. Yeah, it's bested pretty good, man. No cracks. Let's see if there's any damage to the engine, the motor. Obviously, it's not enough to keep it from running. Okay, so that's what the Sur Ron light bead looks like without the skid plate on the bottom. So yeah, we can take a look and see if we damaged it at all. Ooh, it pinched the wire. Yeah, it looks like it pinched the wire right here. That's not good. I know, whatever wire this is, it got pinched by the skid plate. No bueno, and it's like touching one of the heatsink fins on the plate. So, and I'm guessing it still works, so it should be okay. But yeah, you definitely don't want to keep that there. You want to keep that on the side or something like that. So that's no bueno. But the motor looks okay. Didn't really take any damage at all. I don't see any obvious damage. Should be fine. Should be fine. Okay, so the skid plate did its job. It protected the motor. So, all right. So let's go take a look at this guy. I think so. These are what the bolts look like. There's 4 of them. I do not know what the torque specs are. I have a torque value sheet and it's not on there. So just snug, I guess. Maybe you want to put some Loctite on it too. You don't want those coming off. But there's 4 of these. 4 of these guys, you can see. They're 5mm to remove them, and there's these little kind of like sandwich dealies that you got to put on it. So there's 2 that slip on from the front here and the back, and then 2 that slip on from the back that point towards that are on the front of the skid plate. All right, so let's go put it next to the Luna one, and then let's take all this hardware off first. Okay, so make sure you don't lose these. I think you gotta reuse them. So this is what holds it. I'd imagine there's probably some wiggle room for it. Yikes. It's very light, I'll tell you that. Oh, okay, there it is. So there's the Luna Cycle skid plate without the beauty plate on the right, and the stock Sur Ron light bead skid plate on the left. As you can see, boy, the Luna one does look a lot beefier. The welds, we can just take a quick look at both designs real quick. Boy, this one is a lot lighter. The design is a little different. So if you look at the front, this is just one whole piece that goes in, and it's the same. They're the same on both. So, but if you look at the rear is totally different. The rear is almost like 90 degrees with the ground, whereas this one is like a 45-degree angle. It's flat with this. So that's a good question. Maybe it's bent. Yeah, I think it is bent. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it bent the whole skid plate. That's why it's like that. So I believe the whole skid plate is shifted back, because where it took all the impact was on the very bottom actually. So it actually pushed everything inward, and then it moved these mounts. Like it like kind of folded it. It's supposed to look like this. I think that's what I'm thinking. It's supposed to look like this, but it doesn't anymore because it's in such bad shape. So yeah, but it did do its job. It did protect the motor. Other than pinching that wire, and there's really no damage at all. So But I'm surprised after just one ride, you know, I didn't even ride the bike that hard, you know, honestly. But you can see it started buckling here on the very bottom, so it got pressed in, and it's like it's moving everything in. You can see the paint is starting to crack up here. I think it bent here, like I mentioned earlier, and it got pushed in here, so that's the kind of damage that it took. There's no cracks added on it at all, though. It bent really easy. It's a really soft material. So all right, let's go take a look at a side profile. It does look like the Luna skid plate has more coverage. Yeah, you can see like this goes up all the way here, so, and it goes down here a little bit. So you get a little more coverage on the sides, especially on the right side. For some reason, the right side is taller than the left side. Yeah. Whereas these sides are their exact same height. This looks like it's been buckled in too. That's why the paint's all coming off. This side is much taller actually if you compare. Yeah, see, it just kind of just overshadows the other one. So for whatever reason, this side is taller. I think it's to protect the wires or something, is what they said. So that's a side profile shot right there. Here's the front profile. Other than that, it's pretty much, yeah, the sides are taller on this, and other than that, it's pretty much the same. The cutouts here, I don't know why they put these here. Why would you put this? Why would you cut holes in your skid plate? To make it look cooler, to lighten it? I don't think it would lighten it that much. Yeah, I kind of question why these are here. This would make the skid plate weaker, right? Let's go take a look at the KLX skid plate. Actually, let's go take this over here. So there, we kind of saw everything. It's pretty much the same design, except the sides are taller on the on that guy. All right, on the new one. So you see this. This is a skid plate this is a Ricochet off-road skid plate on my KLX 140. It's an aftermarket skid plate. This one is made out of aluminum, and it doesn't have as good as side coverage. Yeah, it actually doesn't have as good as side coverage, but I mean, there's a little wing here that protects the side of the motor. But you get, like, you know, levers and stuff in the way. You don't have that kind of stuff on the Light B. But yeah, you don't see any holes in it anywhere, right? I think there's a hole for, like, the drain plug on the other side. So when you're changing your oil, which you don't do on the Light B, you can drain it through there. But yeah, you don't see any holes on the skid plate. I don't know why you would put holes on the side of the skid plate, other than to make it look cool or to drain the water out. Which if you did get any water in there to drain it, it's got these little holes on each of the corner here. That would do a good job of doing that, just draining the water out. So I don't understand why they have these cutouts here. Even the stock one has a cutout. So there's a triangular cutout here, and I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a hexagonal? Yeah, no. Pentagon is 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a hexagon, yeah. So they got these hexagon-shaped like cutouts on the side of the skid plate. Why? Why would you put something like that? It makes the skid plate weaker, you know. I mean, I would rather them not have done this. It would have been better if it was just solid, you know, because it makes it weaker, and it's like, yeah, it just makes it weaker. So all right, let's go compare these two skid plates, and then we'll kind of compare it to the Ricochet one also, on like a real off-road aftermarket skid plate. So okay, so the first thing you probably are wondering is how much does this skid plate weigh? So I can tell you now, when I picked this skid plate up, and I compare, you know, when I pick this one up, this one is very much lighter. It's like feather light, like super light. So let's go weigh them. Let's do a weight comparison first. I got my postal scale here. So let's go weigh the stock skid plate. This is a stock skid plate without any of the hardware on it. And it weighs 8.8 ounces. 8.8 ounces. 9 ounces. Weighs 9 ounces. There you go. Maybe with the paint that we lost, probably 9 ounces exactly. So the Luna Cycle skid plate without the beauty plate is 1 pound and 5.6 ounces. So we'll say 1 pound 6 ounces if you round up. So 1 pound 6 ounces. It's like twice as heavy, pretty much. But that's to be expected. This is stainless steel. Stainless steel. Okay, so let's go do some more. All right. So material. The Luna Cycle skid plate is made out of stainless steel, whereas the stock Sur Ron Light B skid plate is made out of aluminum. So, and I can test that with handy dandy Mr. Magnet here. This is like a magnetic work light, so it sticks to things that are steel. As you can see right there. So I'm pretty sure it will stick to the Luna Cycle one. Oh no, it doesn't. Is it really steel? Maybe it's aluminum. Okay, I was under the false assumption that all stainless steel is magnetic, but this is not. It has no. It does not. Oh, actually, it does. Oh no! You know what? The welds. It sticks to the welds. It's sticking to something here. See, look at that. I bet it sticks to the welds. No, see, it sticks to the welds. It doesn't stick to the actual material itself. So I just did some research on the interwebs. 304 stainless steel is not very magnetic, is what they say. It doesn't have a strong reaction to magnets, so that's why. But yeah, so like aluminum, it doesn't attract magnets and stuff. So that's interesting. I thought all stainless steel. Or I thought, I thought all stainless steel was magnetic, but apparently 304 isn't. 304 is like 10 or 20% chromium or something, and I guess chromium doesn't respond to magnets. So pretty much not a lot of it sticks at all. See, all the stuff in the middle doesn't stick. For some reason, here where the sides are, where they bend it, sticks to that. But and the welds, it sticks to the welds. So whatever they welded it with, it is magnetic. So I got a stronger magnet here just to double check. Yeah, it doesn't stick at all to the Sur Ron one, but yeah, there it is. So that's an interesting thing to note. It is not magnetic. Now, does that make a difference on the Sur Ron because it's an electric motor? I don't know. I'm not that big of a physics guru. So all right, so. Another comparison we can make is thickness of material. So we're using a 304 stainless steel here, and then just I don't know what kind of aluminum is a stock skid plate, but okay. So apparently my thingy is running out of power here, but we'll do 2 measurements. How about that? Let's do it in millimeters too. So the Luna skid plate is 1.92 millimeters thick. Let's take a measurement from the front too, just in case. It's pretty much 2 millimeters. Oh, I'm kind of moving it a little bit. I'll keep it on there. So it's 1.78. Oh, it's like freaking out. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, I gotta kind of hold it. It's 1.75 millimeters, so it's not quite 2 millimeters. A little bit. It's almost there, not quite. So let's go measure the Luna skid plate. Not the Luna. Let's go measure the stock Sur Ron skid plate. So we'll just measure one of the ears here, and I'll keep it on. I'll keep it on there, and I'll read what it says. This is kind of hard to do because this one's all bent and stuff. So this is 2.3 millimeters right there. Yeah, 2.2 millimeters. And the front here is 2.2 millimeters. So there you go. So actually the Luna Cycle skid plate is thinner. It's thinner by a little bit. This is like under 2 millimeters, and the other one is over 2 millimeters. you can pretty much round down or up to 2 millimeters though. So this is actually thinner than the stock one. And then let's go compare it to the Ricochet skid plate here. I will take a measurement from one of the ears here, I guess. Okay, so we got 4 millimeters. 4 millimeters. And I believe this is aluminum also. Just because it's aluminum doesn't mean it's weak, you know? If it's thicker, so yes, that is indeed all aluminum right there. So there we go. So the Ricochet off-road skid plate on my KLX is 4 millimeters, so it's like twice the thickness of this. So I was hoping, you know, to get something more like that. And I don't think they make anything like that. If you remember, like the other skid plates we looked at, like the Sur Ron UK skid plates, the ones that they made, the aftermarket ones, they were 3 millimeter aluminum. So it's kind of like it's in between. It's in between like something like this and the stock skid plate. The stock skid plates and the unicycle are around 2 millimeters. So I don't know how well that's going to hold up, but we'll find out. So there you go. So what have we learned? Unicycle skid plate is heavier, almost more than twice. You could definitely feel it. It's got a lot of heft. It's gonna add some weight to the bottom of your bike, but that's what makes it stronger, right? Stainless steel should be a tougher material. It should be harder to bend. Yeah, because like look at the Sur Ron one. It just kind of, you know, just like a marshmallow, man. It just folded like so easily. Yeah, so this is a little less, oh no, this is a little more than 2 millimeters thickness, whereas this one is a little less than 2 millimeters thickness. So we found out it's not very magnetic. Only things that are magnetic are the welds, and for some reason where they folded the steel. And it's got a little more coverage on the side, especially on this side, on the left side. I think that's to protect the wires or something, they were saying. So when we go out and test this thing, we will have to see if what kind of damage it can handle, and the way it deforms. Like there's no way around it. Like if it's designed to take a hit, you know. The question is how well can it take that hit. So this one did not break. We didn't break it. It didn't crack or anything, but it buckled. It buckled quite a bit, which I did not like. And it looks like it folded. It folded it right here. It kind of like tweaked it. It went like, it was so soft. It just rotated here on the mounts, and it did it like on both of them too. Because I don't think these are supposed to look like that. I'm surprised it didn't just crack. You know, so the good thing about aluminum is it resists crack. Does it resist cracking? Well, yeah, it is. It's softer than stainless steel, so its chances of cracking are not high, because the metal is less brittle, so it's really soft. So it bends easily, but it doesn't crack easily. So that's why that one did not crack. Just surprised, but we'll just have to see how this is when we take it out. I was hoping there would be something along the lines of that. I think the best skid plate you can probably get right now is probably the Sur Ron UK one. I don't really know much about carbon fiber. I don't know how strong it is. It must be pretty strong since they're using it for racing and stuff. It should be lighter and probably just as strong as a steel. But I have no experience with carbon fiber. But I can tell you this: aluminum, those thick, like the one that you see in front of you on the Ricochet skid plates, that thing is strong, and it's designed to take a beating. Even without the skid plate, this frame could take quite a beating. It's just, yeah, it's heavy. Like it's twice the weight of the Sur Ron. So, and yeah, the motor's just not sticking out there underneath the frame, you know. So that's the problem with that design. It's a good design, but it's not the best design for like really rough riding, in my opinion. So all right. Also, we have one more skid plate that we can test. I can show you real quick. Okay, here's my Suzuki DR650. We'll be looking at the skid plate real quick. So this is the skid plate for the DR650. As you can see, this one has a very big Cradle frame for the motor. And motor's like gigantic on this bike. And I have hit like a lot of things with this bike. This bike has hit a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm sure the frame is bent too, so but yeah, you got that frame for support. But you can see how much of a punishment this has taken. I got a good one right here when I was riding in a rock garden in a Red Rock Canyon during LAB to V. There's many foot dents here. Yeah, all over here. Like somebody shot it with a gun or something. And you can see there's no cracks. It bends. It bends and it scrapes, but it doesn't crack. And it still pretty much keeps its shape. So let's get a quick measurement. Yeah, but boy, has it taken quite a beating. And it's still going. I've put many miles on this, and this has gone. Oh, look, there's a good one right here. This one. Woo-wee! I don't know what I hit there, but and here, right here, look at this. Boom! The whole thing is just sunken in. The frame is buckling. So yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not going to protect it from everything, but you know, it helps. You know, I can tell you if I'd hit the rock here, if the skid plate wasn't there, there'd probably be a hole on the side of the engine on this bike. Yeah. So anyway, let's this. I think this is a Moose skid plate. Moose Racing. Let's go. I got Mr. Caliper here. Let's go see how thick this skid plate is. I can't quite get it in there. I'm gonna have to do that on the other side then. All right. Okay, yeah, let's do the wing right here, I guess. Okay, so it's 4 millimeters, just like the Ricochet one. Looks like 4 millimeters is what you want. Yeah, it's actually more than 4 millimeters, 4.3. Yeah, so 4 millimeters is how thick these skid plates are. That's how big so that's just to give you an example how thick the skid plates are for how thick a heavy duty skid plate is for a motorcycle, you know, a motorcycle dirt bike, you know. So yeah, we'll see how the Luna skid plate is, which is actually thinner than the stock skid plate, how it holds up. Like I said, I bought it. It was only $30, so I might as well try it, you know, see how well it does. It's made out of stainless steel, so it's a tougher, stiffer, harder material. It's heavier, so it would resist bending a lot. Now will it crack? So the stock one didn't crack, so maybe if I probably beat on it more, it probably would have. But yeah, we'll see how it is. We'll just have to take it out to the dirt playground and try it out again. So I'm not gonna go easy on it. So but yeah, we'll see how strong it is. I have a feeling it's probably better than the stock Sur Ron Light B skid plate. So all right.